So in a previous video I uploaded called what the fuck, half the time I don't even remember what the fuck my own videos are called. You should remember, don't you watch my stuff? So it's called Clean and Ready to Use. Yeah, right. And it was talking about this air conditioner and how, this is the after picture, but how it started being clean and ready to use, right? Clean and ready to use, bruh. This is just a funny little add-on. Y'all could go watch the other video if you want to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this was what I was told was clean and ready to use. You better get the fuck out of here. So I took that hose to that front cover and hooked it up to the sink, and I said, "Hose, nigga!" And I took the baby wipes on the right side you see there, and I took the screwdriver to get it open, like, "Screwdriver, get it open," because it was like, "Oh, you ain't got no tools with you." I said, "Yes, motherfucker, I carry them in my backpack." Okay? In my little vacuum that I just happened to have laying around there, and got it clean and looking clean, and it said it's gonna sing because I took the baby wipes and put them down into the air chamber, got half my arm down into the air chamber to wipe off all that dust. Because when people say, "Oh, you could just blast it with some hot water," yeah, you would think that. Some people would think that. That only applies if it's just a small amount of dust and debris that got into these fins and it happened to make it through the filter, if the filter is in good condition, and just some of it happens to be stuck on there, you just want to blast it through. And what I do sometimes with cases like that, especially if it's a cheap AC that seems to build up stuff like that, is I get, like, a large dishwashing liquid bottle, and I keep sometimes I keep one of those so I could fill it full of hot water, and then just blast it in through these little slits, these little fins, in order to blast out the small debris or dust. That's on an air conditioner that's mostly in good condition. It's just weekly maintenance. On most of the cheap air conditioners, you have to do that weekly maintenance. I hate those cheap Frigidaire ones. Not the better ones, not the better Frigidaire. I've had both. But if it's like badly covered in dust and debris, you can't just blast it with hot water, even if you use a high-powered hose. You can't just blast it with cold or hot water, because some people say, "Oh, take it outside," or, if it's small enough, you can put it in the bathtub and just blast it with water. Well, you have to disassemble half the air conditioner so you can blast the water from behind. Yeah, you got to hit it from the back, right? You got to blast it with hot water from behind this condenser coil set to blast it. You don't want to take the dirt and blast it further into the thing and get it stuck and have it performing worse than when you started. But the funny thing is, going back to the funny part, people be thinking, "Oh, if not for that, if you can't fit it in the bathtub and blast it with the water and you can't take it outside because you don't have a garden hose, you can just take a brush and just brush it off." First of all, this stuff doesn't just brush off. Number two, you know what you have to worry about when you go to brush this off and you breathing in? The dust. If you can handle that, if you can handle the dust, I don't think you can handle that. Nobody wants to be breathing this nasty shit in while brushing it off. Okay, you'll never forget it. Let's just say that. And then I think what happened here was that this was so blocked with this stuff at the bottom that when whoever was using it before for years and years and neglecting it by using it without a filter on, because they thought, "Oh, the filter's dirty, so I'll just take the filter out." Some people don't even realize that they can clean those things. Yes, they're reusable and washable. So they just take it out, and what happens when you take it out and use it for several years after? This happens. Everything that was supposed to go in the filter goes here over like 10, 12 years. And then the reason why this setup, that all this debris set on top of there, is because, well, you imagine it couldn't really pull much air in with all this blocking the grill. So that means hardly any air coming out, which got a chance to let this stuff sit in here and collect this dust and look like little sand and shit. Imagine if you go to clean this part off with whatever you got, which I used a butter knife, a vacuum cleaner, and cleaned it off by scraping it. After you do that and you don't clean this top part well and stick your arm down in it with wipes in order to get to the bottom of it to clean out the black shit that you can't see. Imagine if you just clean the bottom and then turn it on. Now that you've cleaned the bottom, now it can blow air at full speed because you've unblocked the vent. So now it's going to blow air at full speed all through the top and going to blow all that shit all in your motherfucking face. The dust. That's what you have to contend with. But see, if you do it right, this is what you end up with. This shit right here, and this shit right here, and then you go right here, and then you can tighten up the control panel and wipe that off and clean that and clean the vent and clean the grill, and then after you clean the vent and clean the grill, you're like, it's shiny, nigga. Oh my god, wow, look at that. It is a fucking work of art. It's not a work of art. It should be. I think I've earned the right to call this a work of art, don't you? Lot of mercy. Alright, so this is just a test run. I hope I don't make a mistake and actually upload this garbage. So yeah, when someone tells you that an air conditioner that they have is working, and looks can be deceiving, can it? Now this right here